Let's D&D.
I'm not joining you this time. You do your own thing.
D&D.
Fighting with the legends of lore.
I think kind
I never kissed a baby before. I mean, never kissed a baby before.
I'm not involved in this anymore. This episode's done.
Good morning.
It's Cake and Lindsay.
Quel surprise, we have a guest.
Hello.
This is my brother John, otherwise known as Bruno of the Far Reach. I just made up that part.
I like it.
Kind of sounded like, one of the titles you might have, so...
I just got a bunch of mostly made-up titles anyway, so...
Pretty much, it's much like the books. So, obviously, today is D&D.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is this supposed to be a
Fighting
song
with the
segment?
powers of lore. Stephen Lynch.
No, never heard of him.
Lies, you both abandoned me. Okay.
I
Let's
don't
see how
even
it
have
goes.
to talk during this episode. It's great.
Let the one guy who can't carry a tune carry it for the whole show. I get it how this is. It's going to be one of those episodes. Not bad enough that I keep falling down on the couch here.
You're the only one that happens to.
Oh. I say it's because I have a chronically curved spine.
Oh, I feel real tall now.
What are you doing? You're not that tall.
Sitting up straight. You're slouching again already, so...
No! I got this. You're still not that tall.
Clearly I am.
I am taller than you, if only by a half inch. Fine.
That is not the point of this episode, though.
Right. Back on track. So we're going to start D&D in about a half hour or so, but we asked John, a.k.a. Bruno, to show up a little early so we could interview him.
The way he said Bruno.
It was all bad.
Probably. We also don't cut anything for the most part.
No,
so
I do. You don't. I do.
I mean, we don't cut embarrassing mistakes.
Oh no, we highlight those. We put them right up.
Those right there so everyone can see them. So, I got to get mine out of the way as soon as possible. So we have some prepared questions, but before that, how about you tell us a little bit about Bruno?
Sure. Bruno is a sorcerer from a, fairly, at one time, well-off family. They've fallen on hard times, but they've still sent him to the, best schools, and, he's made friends with the highest caliber of society.
1%,
But,
1%.
Yeah, he's not super interested in any of that, and he really just wants to, write romance novels for a living. Smutty romance is his forte. But he had never really traveled the world or experienced romance himself, so he decided to set off adventuring to learn what love was and write about it as he saw it, and then make it happen if he didn't find any.
Like a good investigative journalist.
Making it happen if they don't see anything?
Yes.
Alright.
Also, what does he look like?
So Bruno is a half-elf. He's about like 5 feet tall, about maybe like 250 pounds. His mother fed him well.
And Bruno does seem to take every opportunity to possibly see romance in any party action at all.
There's always romance somewhere.
So he had great
Except
hopes
when
for
there's
lots
not.
he had great hopes for lots of hookups within the party that disappointed him horribly. But
I'm continually disappointed by all of you.
Hey, I'm pulling my part right now.
I had a kid.
That's why I'm so disappointed in you
The
specifically.
first time I ever had sex, I had a kid.
So speaking of manufacturing romance, how's Bruno's love life going?
Oh well, he's married now.
Ah! You found love.
Yeah, in unexpected places.
don't you tell us a little bit about her?
Well, she's an orc. Her name is Thizda. She is strong and, you know, controlling, I would say.
Domineering.
Domineering. You know, she's taught Bruno a lot about the art of romance, I guess. It's
Maybe a different part of that romance that you hadn't pictured quite before?
yeah, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you go to bed with her and you have to roll a constitution save to not get hurt. It's,
Too bad.
To not get hurt? No. To survive. So, has this improved your writing then? Bruno's writing about that aspect of his smutty romance novels then?
yeah, you know, it was. I feel like in Bruno's mind, this was. This was a gender reversal on a lot of his stories, and it really, I think it's changed the tone of a lot of his stories. So, you know, it's a whole new world for him.
So what's the oddest thing you've ever done as Bruno?
As Bruno,
Do you think?
the oddest thing. I mean,
He's an
he's
odd
an odd
character.
folk.
I have a top 5 hits list even, but
So one thing that Bruno likes to do a lot whenever he gets into any town or anywhere is, you know, he tries to, he always has copies of his books on him at all times. And then he has a magical quill, so he's making more copies of existing books and writing new books at all times. So he likes to sneak into stores and libraries and, you know, sleight of hand his own books into them because, you know, I think it's fairly safe to say they probably wouldn't take them otherwise. But he's been hiding his own books in libraries across the world in hopes that eventually people will find them and be like, damn, this is pretty good. And he did finally meet his first fan, which was
you
pretty
did have a
exciting.
fan interaction.
One that was actually real.
And timed in a really
And one that
awkward
wasn't.
moment.
It was a little awkward. And,
Like,
you know, I got a little jealous.
well, weren't they just about to murder us or something as well? Or
Well,
Kinda, a little bit.
might have murdered you guys. I think I was
until they...
What's your favorite book Bruno's written?
Hmm.
I know, there's a lot of good titles.
I know. I think I don't know. I think I liked the Merfolk one. That was good. It was a Merfolk human romance called "Stuff to the Gills." It was a tender romance.
What your favorite memory of Bruno was?
Oh, geez. I don't know, there's a lot of good ones. Maybe when he got very upset that his jelly beans were leaking out of his bag?
That
Was that a real thing, or did we just make that up?
No, well, we made it up, and then Rich turned it into a real thing.
Yeah.
You know, he was just eating jelly beans, and you know, everyone was trying to sneak along, and I rolled real bad for sneak. I was like, well, I guess I've been just leaking a trail of jelly beans this whole time. Which, of course, our DM was like, yes, you have.
somebody followed it.
Meanwhile, he was like, I had actual jelly beans? Crap.
I'm going back.
I'm gonna eat every one of those jelly beans.
Yours?
So I have 2. Most people eventually in a RPG game like this pick up the most valuable tool ever, a bag of holding. Bruno went and had designed a bag of holding so he could keep all of his food fresh in it. Notoriously, a bag of holding does not keep food fresh. He had one design that would keep all his food fresh because we have seen Bruno at a table full of beggars and poverty-stricken children who offered us dinner as a polite sort of a thing go, oh yeah, is anyone gonna eat that? I want more of that, and gone back for seconds, and then packed up leftovers into his bag. So
That's what you get for being polite. Just don't offer it if you don't want me to eat it.
And my second one is his signature move. That is, he has shocking grasp as part of his cantrips for his character, which is a electrifying attack that kind of stuns the character for a little bit. And he also has an ability to do 2 attacks at once. So he generally, with his height, crotch punches any opponents in essentially an electrified crotch punch. And I am delighted by this.
Very recently, Bruno was in a bar and, started talking to some stranger about true love and thoughts about true love and, what he would do for true love and all that, and inadvertently got himself, embroiled in a warlock type pact without realizing it. So, yeah, he's part warlock now, too.
Yeah. That just
Which he
provides
doesn't realize.
all kinds of fun for Rich, our DM.
Who you met last time. Also, if you're interested in following our adventures through the eyes of Bruno, he has a Twitter account. It's Bruno the Writer.
Yeah, Bruno the Writer.
Bruno the Writer, so go follow that if you want to see really amusing reports of what we've been up to.
Kind of a spot-by-spot, moment-by-moment observations that he writes in his journal. Mostly failing to understand the situation wonderfully.
Situation through Bruno's eyes.
Yes.
Right? So just one of the characters in our group that makes it a lot of fun for us to play, and we're off to do some D&D.
Let's D&D.
I'm not joining you this time. You do your own
It's
thing.
D&D.
Fighting with the legends of lore.
Let's frost the cake.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Oh, you know what? Before we frost the cake, if you enjoy any of this, and why wouldn't you? I mean, it's D&D. Then go ahead and hit that subscribe button over there.
Stop pointing at my boobs.
You know what? Your boobs are not the subscribe button. They're there. Okay, I'm sorry. And the like button. And that way we'll get to produce many, many more of these for you. And we'll know someone out there cares what we're doing. And now I think, let's frost the cake.
Let's frost the cake.
Yeah, we'll do that.